Hey everyone, and welcome to the second video in our micromanagement series. Today we're talking about one of the hardest things I think for leaders to do well, and that's to delegate. If you've ever tried to delegate a project and found yourself stepping in and taking it back or trying to fix it, this one's for you. However, delegation isn't just about handing off tasks, it's actually about building trust, empowering people, and learning to let go of control. So, in this episode, I'm going to give you 5 keys to delegate effectively so that you don't fall into the trap of micromanagement. The goal here today is to help you and I lead better, build stronger teams, and deliver results together. Also, as a reminder, as we jump into this, I do post topics like this every day on YouTube in the post tab, whether it's book reviews, quotes, other things like that. So please do subscribe so you can get those updates. You may not have time to watch videos, but I do post topics in there. So key one, let's jump in. Define the outcome, not the process. What do I mean by that? Well, micromanagers focus on the steps, leaders focus on the results. Yes, you do have to have steps, but we're focusing here on results. When you delegate, don't prescribe every detail. Instead, answer these questions together. What does success really look like? What problems are we solving? What are the non-negotiables? And last, what is the timeline? Answering these questions should provide you with enough information for you to allow the team to move forward with confidence and allow you to trust the process. This way, you give them ownership and accountability. Key two, match the task to the right person. Effective delegation isn't about handing off work randomly, it's about intentional placement. Ask some key questions like who has the skill or the stretch potential to do this? Who's ready to grow? Who's done work like this before? You name the questions, but have a list and think through those. While you do this, take into account people's current workload. If you give more and more work to the same overworked but maybe competent person, they're going to get behind and you're going to step in. So you want to avoid that ahead of time. Set them up by asking some key questions. You can make them up. Here's a few that might work. Do you have the bandwidth to handle another project that's due in X amount of time? Defining the time is key. Or it seems like you're maxed out, but this project is really in your sweet spot. I know you love it. So what can we do to take off work so that you can take this on and own it? Also, avoid the temptation to default to the same high performers all the time. When you do, you risk burnout for your high performance and you miss the opportunity to develop somebody else. So, delegation is one of your best development tools. Use it not just to offload, but to empower others. Key three, set checkpoints, not choke points. Micromanagers hover. Empowering leaders, they build trust-based checkpoints instead. Here's how. Agree on milestones up front. Decide how often you want to connect. In other words, is it a weekly check-in? It is a progress email. You decide what it is. Stay available, but don't insert yourself unless needed. Agree that if challenges do arise that can't be solved in one day, you pick the time frame, whatever it is, you'll be notified immediately for consultation. Agree in advance what signals might require your re-involvement. So it's clear to both sides that stepping in isn't a sign of mistrust, but it's a shared accountability safeguard. Agree that if tripwires are tripped, like the following, you may need to step in. You can set them, but here's some that I use from time to time. Project is missing milestones consistently. Define what consistently means. Check-ins are ignored. The scope of the project changes more than a percentage, say 25%, you define what that is, etc. You make it up, you pick the checkpoints you and your team need, and then let them do their job and you can focus on things you need to do. This shows you trust your team and care about providing support. Key four, communicate expectations clearly, then let go. One reason leaders micromanage is because of vague delegation. When people don't understand what's expected, you're forced to step in later, and that's not their fault, it's yours. So get clear on the goal, the deadline, the level of autonomy they have, and any key stakeholders they should be keeping informed. There's nothing wrong with revisiting these same 4 points on a regular check-in to verify. Has any of these 4 expectations changed or been adjusted? If so, let's discuss and document. Then step back. Don't double back unless absolutely necessary. Clarity is what gives your team confidence. Second guessing is what takes it away. Key five, the last one, discuss and celebrate results. After the task is done, don't just move on. That is the step that often is overlooked. After we're done, we often think, well, let's move on to the next project. That's the mindset. While most people move on in that direction, a lot of good data mining is missed if you skip this step. Be sure to debrief. What went well? What did we learn? What would we do differently next time? You list the questions. This information you get from these or whatever questions you choose will help you provide valuable information for future projects. You never know, a year from now, you're not going to remember what happened exactly in this detail, but it's likely if you might have a similar project a year from now, and your boss is going to expect you to do it even faster and better, likely with different team members. So set yourself up well. Have a playbook ready that you can revisit. Then celebrate. Publicly recognize the work and the group. This creates a culture of ownership and gives people the confidence to take on more. Delegation done well isn't just task management, it's talent development. So, quick recap of the five: define the outcome, not the process, match the task to the right person, set checkpoints, not choke points, communicate clearly, then let go, and then debrief and celebrate results. Great leaders delegate with clarity and trust, not control. The more you release, the more you scale, and the more your team grows, the more impact you will create. I encourage all of us to delegate well by zooming out and seeing the bigger picture. Keep everybody in mind as a potential leader, knowing when to re-engage and not skipping the debrief, because that's where real leadership and learning happens. Personally, I've learned this the hard way by holding on to too much, not delegating enough, and burning out in the process. When I actually apply these five keys, I've seen more margin in my team and in others. The team feels more empowered and we accomplish way more together. Also, don't forget to download the free Delegation Clarity Toolkit. Each episode comes with a free multi-page toolkit that you can download. It's a PDF. The link is in the show notes to help you delegate better. If this video added value today, hit like and subscribe. I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment. How has delegation helped you, or how has micromanaging delegation helped you not be a micromanager? And if you've missed any of the part one, go back and watch the episode on 5 signs you might be a micromanager. Until next time, I'm Jonathan Hankin, your leadership coach. Keep questioning, keep growing, and keep leading change.